Life with chronic pain can be entirely discouraging at times, can't it? So maybe you try a new doctor or a new treatment and you have high hopes that this is going to be the answer, and then it doesn't work out. I remember constantly searching for answers and feeling hopeful that this next thing was finally going to be the one that fixed everything for me. Sometimes it would be a new doctor, or they were going to try a new treatment on me. Could even be a new medication. And every time something didn't work the way I'd hoped, it felt like, oh, here we go again. I thought this was going to be it, and now what do I do? It was exhausting, and I'm sure you know that feeling. And underneath all of that was that deeper feeling of helplessness. Like I have no control over my pain. I'm just waiting for somebody to find the answers for me, somebody to figure it out. What I didn't understand at the time was that chronic pain is not a one-piece problem. So it doesn't have a one-piece solution. And I know that sounds so discouraging. It's like, you mean I have to find a bunch of things that are going to help? But actually, it can become a very, very hopeful shift in your journey, like it did with mine. So for a long time, I believed that I had no control over my pain. I was focused on finding the right doctor, the right diagnosis, or that new treatment that was going to make all the difference. But what I discovered over time was there were actually things I could do that influenced my pain. And it wasn't going to be a magic pill or an instant fix, but it was going to really influence my pain. And so that shift from no control to realizing that I had influence over my pain changed a lot of things for me. Because even a little influence can make a big difference.
Yeah, Debbie, that's right. Because you started to think of your pain more like a puzzle, didn't you? Not
I
something that
did.
you had to solve perfectly, but something that was made up of different pieces, right?
That's right. And for me, some of my pieces were pain education. I've talked about that in other videos, where learning how pain actually works helped me to reduce my fear of the pain, my hyper focus on pain all of the time, and it even helped me to start moving again. So that was an important piece. Also, another important piece that happened around that same time was that I found some things that were inflammatory in my diet. And it took a little bit of trial and error, but once I realized something that was causing inflammation, then I eliminated that, or at least limited that in my diet. That made a difference as well. And another thing that happened around that same time was that I'd been doing physical therapy for quite some time, but I finally found a couple of yoga stretches that hit just the right parts of my body without overwhelming it, and so that made a difference as well. And of course, there were plenty of other pieces, but those were three pieces that really helped a lot. And so none of them fixed everything, but they each one helped. And that's how my puzzle started coming together. And I know your puzzle is going to look different than mine, but in general, some of the pieces can include your medical treatments and medications, which we're very aware of, but also movement and exercise, sleep habits, maybe learning some sleep hygiene habits that can help with getting better sleep. It could be nutrition, whether that be anti-inflammatory foods or some other things like that in your diet. Could be stress management. And of course, that can always be helpful because we know stress has a big impact on our pain. And as well, the nervous system tools that can help calm our nervous system. Emotional support, making sure that we've got the people around us who can to be as supportive as possible. Pain relief strategies like heat and ice, maybe topical options, massage. And another piece of the puzzle that we talked about a week or so ago in one of my videos was pacing yourself. So one of the tools could be learning to pace your energy levels so that you have less pain throughout your day. But whatever the pieces are, it's important to remember that no single piece has to do all the work. Each one of them are contributing to helping you feel better.
Yeah, that's right. When you're looking for just one answer, you kind of put all your hope in that one thing. And
That's
man,
right.
if that doesn't work, it just feels overwhelming. It feels discouraging, right? It feels like, oh, we're going back to square one. But when you shift to a puzzle mindset, something changed, right, Debbie? Instead of, this didn't fix me, you started thinking, well, maybe this is just one piece. And that shift, that reduced the pressure, didn't it? And it kept you moving forward.
That's right. And here's something I learned the hard way. When you try a new piece of the puzzle, you kind of have to give it a fair shot. I know sometimes I would try something and I would say, oh, well, that doesn't work. But I realized that often when you're trying a new tool that you haven't used before, it can feel very awkward. You're trying to figure out how to hold it and how to use it just right. And so just like that, some pain management tools might feel awkward at first, and you might say, that doesn't work for me. But as you continue to try it a little bit, it actually might provide some real help, some real relief. And so it's important, I think, to make sure you give it a good old-fashioned shot.
Yeah, some tools, I guess they're not meant to take the pain away, right? Some tools are, suppose, are designed to calm your system, right? Some tools are to support your body, uh, maybe help you be healthier. Some tools are designed to build resilience over time,
Mm,
right? So if something doesn't feel amazing right away, it might not be designed to feel amazing right away, right? It doesn't mean that it's not helping because all of these, that's the reason why we love the model of building a puzzle because the pieces start fitting together. And sometimes you don't even know what it looks like to start with until things start to fall into place. So I guess our encouragement, right, to one another and to our listeners and our viewers is, yeah, give yourself some patience, some cut yourself some slack, right? One piece at a time is what it takes.
yes. And this is one of the most encouraging parts about that is you don't need one thing to work 100%. So what if something helps, let's say 5%? That might not feel like much on its own at all. Just might actually be discouraging. But what if you have something else that you can add that helps another 5%? And then another that helps 5% or maybe even 10%? Well, then you're starting to see some real change. Because what's happening is those small changes are adding up. And what happened with me, and hopefully what happened with you, is it actually builds momentum. And so as I had several things working together, all of a sudden that made a big difference, then I was really getting encouraged. So where do you begin? First of all, start simple. Don't need to do everything. Just ask yourself, what's one small piece that I could work on right now? And you don't have to do it perfectly. Just work on one piece. Just trying that. It could be learning more about pain as I did. It could be trying a new gentle movement. It could be changing a part of your routine so that you're pacing yourself better. It could be practicing one of the calming strategies that you've heard about. Could be a variety of things, but just try one and let that be enough for now. So if you've been feeling discouraged, if you've been searching for that one answer, I want you to hear this. Pain is complex, and that means there are a variety of ways to support yourself. You don't have to have a perfect solution, that quick one-time fix that we've all been looking for. You just need a few pieces that are starting to work and starting to help. So I encourage you to start small, be patient, and remember that even small progress counts. You're building something, and that really matters. So next week, we're going to expand on the pieces of the puzzle concept by helping you organize your puzzle pieces into a pain management toolbox. So feel free to share any questions or comments below. And I also invite you to subscribe to stay up with our weekly videos. And remember, your pain is real and there is hope. And my goal is to help you have your pain in the rear view.